If you want 2026 to be the year that you become unrecognizable, and honestly, whatever year you're watching this, at the right time, you will find this video. Then you must stay tuned, because when I say unrecognizable, I mean literally creating a life that doesn't make sense compared to the woman you once were. I mean, it doesn't make sense the amount of money that you're making on a monthly basis. Your family members are legit confused. They're like, I don't even know what she does for a living, but she's rich. Or you're always getting new views. You're always reaching new heights. You're always growing. Your video is always doing well. Or your relationship is flourishing and you're actually like, you went from being treated like ish to being treated like a goddess. The type of overnight success, the overnight transformations. You used to look like one way and now you look like a whole other way. And people are like, who is that? And sometimes it's not even about a look, it's just about a vibration. It's about a feeling, it's about an essence. It's like, oh my God, who is that? I want more of her. I want to be around her. If you want to step into that, my friend, you have come to the right place. Like this video. Who you're talking to? You're talking to Jalen Brunson, your favorite goddess coach, 7-figure entrepreneur, goddess coach to literally thousands of women all across the world, helping them step into their greatest versions. And if you want to do that with me, come to Bali next year, by the way. If you are also ready to do so, no matter when you're watching this video, comment down below 888 and tell me, yes, I am her. I am her. I am her. I am a queen. Affirm yourself in the comments right now. Lock this energy in. Let's get into it. So here's the first thing you need to understand. Your reinvention doesn't start at the new year. It doesn't start tomorrow. It starts right now. The new year, the new version of yourself, the version of yourself that you're birthing into, you have to plant the seed. Just like anything that you create in nature and reality, you take a seed, an intention, and you plant it into the ground. It's decisive. It's not moving anywhere. It is done. And then naturally over time, you simply water that seed and give it what it needs to grow. And before you know it, without much efforting, it naturally becomes anew. You'll begin to sprout and it gets bigger and bigger and multiplies and multiplies and multiplies. This is the concept of abundance, and this is the concept of divine transformation. When you want to transform your life, you need to start seeing yourself like a plant, and this new version of yourself like a plant, a seed that you plant and you begin to water. So 1, you need to have a vision. You need to have 2 understandings. You need to be very clear about the woman that you've been, and then become very clear about the woman that you're becoming. So this version of you who sleeps on herself, this version of you who's lacking confidence, this version of you who accepts bare minimum relationships, this version of you who's stuck at the $100,000 per year mark, the version of you who can't quite grasp the things that she wants and they don't quite stay. Whatever your story has been thus far, I need you to write it down on a piece of paper. Write down what she thinks about herself a lot. Write down how she feels. Write down what she believes in. Write down the states that she has a tendency to stick in. Get to know her, because that is the version of yourself that you're releasing to step into anew. That is the version of yourself that has been trying to keep you comfortable and safe, because the familiar has been what you've been used to. No matter how much you complain about something, the world doesn't care about complaints, because if you keep on complaining about something over and over again, there's a part of you that likes it because it's still there. It's still an energetic match. So 1, you need to understand who you've been, and then number 2, you need to understand who you are becoming. You need to get crystal clear to the version of yourself that you're birthing, and understand that this version of you that you're birthing, it's not something that you're creating out of thin air, something that doesn't exist. If you have a desire to upgrade yourself and to become a different person, it's because she already exists. So when we begin to craft her life, you need to be specific. You need to grab your journal and write down, who am I in this next chapter? Who am I in this next level version of myself? What do I command from my life? How do I operate? What are my standards? What are my bare minimums? What are and who are I? How much money do I see in my bank account? What is a normal thing for me in my life? What normal amount of money is being made and it's just normal to you? What is that next level version of yourself? And you need to be very, very, very specific. It's not just an identity that you're birthing. What you are in the process of birthing is a new spirit, a new entity, a new essence. You are becoming a new version of yourself, and you're honestly shedding layers of all the old stories and becoming more perfected into your own essence. You're stepping into your purity because the natural way of who you are is abundant, is magnetic, is feminine, is juicy, is beautiful. But all the old stories, the fears, the doubts, it blocks you and clogs your vision. So we need to know who you are and who you're stepping into. The next point is the most important thing that you need to understand about creating a new version is that you're not necessarily creating new standards. You need to create new floors. A lot of people try to raise their standards, which is the top of what it is that they want. Like, I am not going to ever deal with a man who doesn't want to pay for the first date or whatever. But then maybe they accept it on the third. You need to understand, it's not the standards that you need to upgrade, it is the bare minimums. Because when that old version of yourself starts poking its head and tries to make you wrong again or tries to get you to react to life instead of respond, that old version of yourself who tries to get you to do the same habits and cycles that sabotage you, she's only doing that because it's familiar. Correct? Now, when you raise your floor instead of raising your standards, you are raising your bare minimum. So even when you fall down, you are falling down to a different level. So it's not about raising your standards because everybody can have standards all day. But at the end of the day, what do you actually fall for? When it's all said and done, when all shit hits the fan, what do you actually fall for? What do you actually accept? What is the lowest you are willing to negotiate on your life and yourself? That is the place that you upgrade first. When your bare minimum upgrades, when you make the amount of money that you want turn into your bare minimum instead of something that feels like a dream, that's when you begin to see shifts happen. Not your standard, your floor. Next, you need to become this version of yourself daily. This is not a practice where you are, I'm kind of her, I'm kind of not. You may have a moment where you slip a little bit, but you need to remember when you planted that seed, when you planted that intention, it's grounded, it's rooted, it's not going anywhere. So when you think about a plant, it's not like you got to water the plant all the time, but you do have to water it weekly. You do have to be consistent. You do have to make sure the plant has enough sunshine, has enough nourishment. It's not something that you don't have access to, though. It's not like this thing that is a super hard process. It's something that you naturally do because you care about seeing that plant actually sprout. So you give it what it needs. This is the version of you that you need to start birthing, and you're birthing her on a daily basis. She's always growing, but sometimes you just need to give her the necessary ingredients for her to flourish. So I like to ask myself every day, that next level version of myself, you might even want to give her a name, that next level version of myself, what does she need today? And how can I nourish her? Next, you gotta have goals. But here's the thing about goals. A lot of people who've never made $100,000 in a year, they want to make $100,000. They want to make $1 million a month. And I'm not saying that that's not possible. Obviously, it happens. But for the average person, you need to take your huge goals and break them down into bite-sized pieces. So if your goal is to make $1 million per year, you can have that as your goal in your life and stuff of that sort, but maybe you should also start getting used to making $100,000 a month first. My opinion, go with it, whatever the case is. But what I've seen is if you're not used to the idea of even having 10% more than what you have now, sometimes jumping automatically to 200% more than what you have now is very daunting on the average nervous system. So when I say you need to upgrade, what are the milestones that you need to reach on the path of success? You want to make $1 million a year. How can we make sure we hit consistent 20K months, 50K months, $100,000 months? And then we do that and we see one day, oh my God, yes, I got it. And then once we get to the place energetically where our body can hold that multi-million-dollar empire, then we start asking bigger questions and playing bigger games. But you need to make sure that your own system is on board or else you won't be able to hold it. Quantum leaps are just tiny steps done consistently. So if you want to experience massive shifts, it's not always the big choices that you make. A lot of the times, it's the daily ways that you show up that make or break. Let's say you exercise 10 minutes a day. On the surface, 10 minutes of exercise is a small amount of exercise. But when you compound that 365 days, every single day you do 10 minutes of exercise versus the person who sits on the couch all day and eats junk junk food, you are way more ahead of that person because at least you're being consistent. And then you can increase that number of exercise daily per day or per month. But you're taking the steps, you're creating momentum. So this is a lot of the times when you got to do when you become a different person. You need to start creating more momentum in her direction. It's not always being perfect and getting it all right, but it is creating a certain level of momentum and consistency and operating like her as daily as possible and taking those big goals, turning them into milestones and breaking down those goals into habits. So if your goal is, I want to make $1 million, then what does a millionaire do? Does she invest in herself? Does she do personal development? Does she get a business coach? Does she study? Does she research? Does she study the market? What actions does she take? Does she post her content consistently? Does she feel confident in her offer? And what does she need to feel confident in her offer? Like, what is it that she does? And then you start becoming that. And you become that by taking your goals and turning them into habits. And it takes about roughly 21 days to develop a habit. So you need to operate like her for at least 21 days straight to really start to cement it and to create momentum on average. Next, your body. When you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you look good, okay? So you need to start honoring your body as the temple that it is and reminding yourself that if you want to become recognizable, beauty is not about a physical appearance. You retain your beauty and your youthfulness by simply being in a state where you are in alignment. There's people that I know who they used to look older when they were younger. But then when they let the weight go and when they started saying yes to the things that they were really a yes to, when they started having people around them that actually gave them life instead of gave them drama, when they started to actually say, this is what I want from my life. I don't like this job. I'm going to figure something new out and I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do the thing that I really want to do, the thing that's in alignment with my soul. All of a sudden, that person who looked dry and lifeless, they looked beautiful and they were filled with energy. What did they do differently? They released the stress. They released the things that were no longer serving them. And they released the things that were safe and familiar in order to find themselves. So some of you do want to focus on your beauty, but your beauty is not just something that is a face thing. It's an internal thing. What you feed yourself, the type of food and energy that you give this body. Understand, if you want energy, yes, you got to stop doing all the energy draining activity. We talked about that in other videos. But also energy comes from the fuel that you give your body. So get your rest daily. Go to freaking sleep. Wake up early. It's bare minimum stuff, but it's literally so important. The most times I make the most amount of money is when I'm the most consistent and usually when I wake up the earliest because I wake up with energy, I wake up naturally with the sun, and I wake up naturally filled with good energy and vibrations because I got full, beautiful sleep. I eat foods that give me life. I try to eat healthy proteins, veggies, fruits, things that bring electricity to my body instead of draw me out like sugar, candy, snacks, junk food, dessert. Less of that, more life-giving foods. Drink your water, stretch, move your body, allow your body to move and flow, feel confident, dance if you need to. This helps you step into the new version. And last but not least, you gotta stay committed. One of the cutest things I ever did, especially when I was trying to break a really naughty habit, was I actually got a ring to put on myself so that every time I looked down, I could see that and remember who I was turning into and remember to make new choices and decisions. Because sometimes when we're so used to being one person, it's easy for us to get triggered and start reacting like we are still that person. But once you have different things that you can do to get you to pause, to take a deep breath, and to relax, this is where the commitment comes into. This is where our daily routines come into. Having a physical reminder could be amazing. If you need to see a physical reminder of your dream life, do a vision board and put it in your room. If you need a physical reminder of what you're committed to, get a ring. I had gotten a ring and literally got what I wanted engraved on that ring so I can remember and look at it every single day when I was healing that particular pattern. Habits. What helps habits be strong is by adding things to your life to make that habit easier for you to do. So if you know that you have a habit of overthinking, then maybe we should develop a routine where every single day we start our day off with meditation. It's not like we're waiting for something bad to meditate. We actually develop a habit of meditation. So naturally, we're just calm most of the time because it adds up. Do something that gives you a physical reminder of what it is that you are wanting to do for yourself. A physical reminder, a vision board, a ring, a trophy, a certification, something that you can see, touch, and feel to remind you what you are doing it and why it's going to be so beneficial for you. What are you doing this for? What's your why? And make a commitment to yourself and cement it and watch how easy it is for you to blow up and grow. So yes, that's what I have for you, and hopefully this inspired you to be differently and to operate like the highest, most magnetic, most rich, most lovable version of yourself. If you are ready to upgrade, if you are ready to transmute, if you are ready to become her permanently and to no longer be stuck in the same cycles, and you're ready for the support, the tribe, the community, the guidance to actually do so, you're ready to put yourself in a new environment to try different things, and you're ready to become that girl completely. Money, success, love, you can contain it all. Then you must meet me in Bali next year. 2026 June, it's gonna be amazing. And if you can't meet me in person, check out the different offers I have below where you can get help, support, and resources at multiple different price points at levels. Just tap into my world, chat with me, let's talk, apply for the application, and hopefully I see you next year at one of my retreats. But my love, that is what I have for you today. I hope this motivated you. I hope this inspired you. I hope this lit the fire. I hope you can feel the energetic codes that I have in my system and being. I hope you can feel this energy because I want so much for you. I want you to understand, my love, that you are the only thing holding you back. There is nothing else. So stop giving your power away to your old selves, your old stories and attachments and your doubts and your fears, and start stepping into the version of yourself that you know you are meant to be, because you're not watching this video if you didn't know that. Peace.